Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. So finally, I received a bunch of new ESCs and I still have more ESCs on the way, and it's going to be a pretty interesting couple weeks now, or a couple days really. So let's go ahead, we're just going to do a mailbag time and just a channel updates video and seeing what's up and what I've gotten here. And what is to also be expected, because I got a lot of new things for testing also. So it's going to make things a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun. So let's first start with the ESCs. Let's go ahead and start with the ESCs. So I have the DYS Aria, and I still do, but I lost one of them when I used to do a lot of testing on it. So I went ahead and picked up 4 more because they were good, and I want to keep one for the testing setup here. And I want to see if these are still the second best ESCs ever, because they were the first best ESCs a long time ago. And we've never really tested these on a 4-motor testing setup like the current one we have. So I'm very, very excited and curious how this is going to perform. So this is going to be upcoming on the channel. We also picked up the Racer Star 80 amp ESCs. They're pretty massive actually. And they do have some nice fat capacitors. And I do have the 6S LiPo sitting next to me. I have no idea where I placed it, but I was testing the Xt60. And I did find some pretty interesting things. Not only with noise and the FPV video feed, but also other things. I don't know if you can see this fly flying around. It's very annoying, but yeah, it's getting hot now. So yeah, these are pretty massive ESCs actually. So this is going to be pretty interesting. And what I mean by interesting in testing is, check this out. I picked up a Seek thermal camera for my phone, which we could monitor the thermals while we're doing the 4-motor testing setup. And I've already started doing that with the Xt60. Now, the reason why I picked this up is I actually saw it on Banggood, and I went ahead and picked it up right away. So I was very happy to see that, so I picked that up. I'll leave a link to everything down below. Now, let's put this guy to the side. What else did we get? Well, I saw these. These are, I think, the 220 or 330. Yeah, these are 220 microfarad Rubicon low ESR capacitors. You get like 10 of them for like $1 or $2 from Banggood. So I picked some up. I want to see how good they are. I don't have this low of a rating, low ESR. So this is going to be pretty interesting. I will be doing testing on this, adding it to our low ESR capacitors shootout. So this is going to be pretty interesting. I have no idea what to expect here. I picked up more of those Flycolor X-Cross because I'm planning on doing stress testing on 6S because they're rated for 6S. And I want to do a 6S ESC shootout. So I got extras just in case. And we're going to see how well they perform. Now, I don't think they'll perform good on a 6S, to be honest. I really don't believe so. Just a lot of things tell me that. So we're going to see how well these do. I have no idea. Alright, what else did I get? I got here the Charlance, whatever. It's a saying Typhoon 32. It does look like the Typhoon 32 ESC. We're going to go ahead and check this out. It comes with a pretty, I don't even know what brand that is. Comes with low ESR capacitor. We'll check this out later on. Curious to see how well this will perform also. To be honest, there's 3 things, actually 4 things that I'm super excited about the current package that I received. And this is one of them here. This is a Hakcrc bundle with an all-in-one flight controller and 4 ESCs. I'll leave a link to it down below. Now, I've tested some ESCs are a hit, some ESCs are a miss, or you want to say shit. But I want to test this whole setup here. Now, this is pretty interesting. This is how it comes. They just have them, you know, there are 4 ESCs and you get this guy, the all-in-one flight controller. So I'm very curious how this is going to turn out. This one might be, within the next 2 days, we'll probably see this one, how it's going to translate here. So that's pretty cool. Also got some a Runcam Micro. This is Runcam Micro Swift 2 as I remember. Where is it? Yes, Runcam Micro Swift 2. I really like this camera for micros. And I also got the TX200 from Runcam. This is the transmitter. It's 25 200 milliwatt 48 channel transmitter. What I love about this, it just takes up to 5.5 volts, but it connects right into the back of your camera. It has these like little special spacers and it just goes right in, and that's it. Your camera, your VTX are done, which is super, super, super awesome. They both take 5 volts, so awesome in that perspective. Now, I also picked up this here. Now, this is for the thermal, thermal seeking camera. I mean, it's a thermal vision, basically. You could see all the temperature and take all the temperature reading. And I picked this up from my phone. I did actually find this on Banggood, and I finally decided to get one. I was always hesitant to get it, but for some reason, when I saw it on Banggood, I said, you know what, I'm going to get one. And I went ahead and got one. I've been doing a lot of testing right now with the Tico 32 ESCs on 6S setups, and it's pretty interesting to see some of the things that's going on here. And we're going to be able to test some other cool stuff. I just haven't really thought about it just yet, but it is going to be included soon once I find a nice way to present this information or in a useful fashion. But I really like seeing, you could totally see the wires get warm, and you can see the point, the hottest point on your quadcopter. And it was pretty awesome. So we'll get into this later on. And I picked up this. It's a microscope. Now, what I have previous electric microscopes. Well, this one's a 1080p. What I really like about this one is I can have it so far up, and I can still get an awesome view of everything. Plus, this is going to be very good for our ESC reviews because I will be going in deeper so we can completely see in HD up close how well it's made, how well the manufacturer, how well is the soldering, any cool joints, and read the capacitors, the MOSFETs, and read everything that's on the board, and just taking a look at it. So I think this is going to be a nice little addition. I mean, it's not necessary, but I thought it would be very nice. Plus, it's very helpful, which is very cool, because I have a couple ideas with this, and we'll see those later on. And yeah, I also got this new KISS flight controller that I have no idea where the heck I put, but that one was provided me by iFlight. iFlight sent me these motors here. I don't know when I'm going to test these, to be honest. They are 2207. They look pretty nice. They're called Tachyon, but I can only say so much. The wires are pretty long here, and so yeah, the camera fell. The wires are pretty long here. They look pretty nice actually. They're 2650, 2700 kV. These are going to be monsters. I have no idea how they're going to perform. The gap looks small. I think they are using arc magnets. I can't really tell right now, but I think they are. And we'll test these someday in the future. I don't know when, but right now I have other things to test. But they also gave me their licensed KISS flight controller. And to be honest, I've never seen a KISS product in real person or really looked at it. But I was very skeptical. Let's put it that way. I said, okay, yeah, sure, send it, whatever. We'll see what we can do with it. But looking at the board yesterday, I opened it out of the package. I don't know where the hell I put it though. It was in the house when I got all these things. So I opened it and I was looking at the board, and to be honest, the board layout, I mean, it looked very good. Like, it had a lot of nice components there. I think even the OSD chip. The OSD chip, I think it was the same chip, but it just looked like pretty damn good quality. And to be honest, it felt like, it's an all-in-one flight controller, I believe. It felt like Airbot was the manufacturer, because Airbot leaves these little subtle hints inside lines. They don't like to be round. This is the way I see it. They like to be sharp, and you could kind of see that from the design of the board, and it was pretty packed with components on there. So I have no idea what to expect. I saw a bunch of capacitors on that all flight controller. Not as many as like a HLRC F4 Flame, but it looked good quality. But that's just look. I have no idea how it'll perform. I have no idea about anything. But it just looks nice. It looks like it's a very good build. I don't know how much it costs. It was provided me for free. I don't know how we're going to test it. But we might stick it on a noisy setup on my fort in the beginning, and then see if we get some OSD flickers. Because if it's getting OSD flickers, then the hardware design isn't really, I would say, fully tested properly. Because if there's leakage a lot to hit the OSD, especially on, like, let's just say 80% of flight controllers don't even get an OSD flicker on a current setup. And if this setup were to get hit with the OSD flickers, then there's a lot of things seeping through to different places. So yeah, we'll get into that later on in a more detailed video. Right now, I just don't want to jump into that right now. I also got, these. I didn't need these, but I got them anyways. Emax 2306 2400 kV. I got 4 of them. Just in case, because my motor testing setup, my ESC testing setup now, just in case if motor burns or anything, I could just quickly replace it. Even though I have, I think, another 3 somewhere in the shop. But I also want to build another quadcopter. Maybe make a real life version of this setup to test also in a real world scenario and see how well that performs. But I really like these motors. They're very torquey, very noisy. Yes, very noisy. And very harsh, but very beautiful if you get it right. I really like these. Oh yeah, and I forgot one of the most important things. Yeah, I also got 220 microfarad Rubicons from Banggood. I'll leave a link to those down below. I really want to test those because I have a couple ideas here that I want to show you because they're so small. I'll show you later on. We'll get into that video later on. So I got this one. This is a complete DIY kit. It's a 500mm wheelbase quadcopter with motors, ESCs, but don't think it's like a super racing one. It's one of those. I guess you maybe like a GPS build. It doesn't have legs. It doesn't have a payload bay. It looks like this. It's from that same company, MRT, that I got that big one from, Banggood. So it's plasticky and metal-y, but no carbon. But yeah, it comes with everything, as you can tell. The motors here and the ESCs, and the motors are pretty big, so it's gonna be pretty torquey, but it's gonna be pretty slow as well. It's 800 kV. I don't know the size of the motors, but there will be no soldering here because everything is bullet connectors. They just have it super simple to build. And I don't know, maybe we could play with this. I have no idea. We could do some cool things with this instead of just always racing quads and freestyle quads. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, to be honest. And I still have a bunch more ESCs and stuff on the way, stuck in customs. I don't know if hopefully I'll receive them before Friday, but I have enough things to test here for the next couple days. So this is some of the things to be expected. And if you guys have any suggestions or ideas, especially with the thermal camera now, if you want to see some cool stuff, like for example, I just noticed something super crazy. When I do my testing, while I have been doing my testing, what I find is the tips of the propellers get warmer. Isn't that crazy? That is crazy. I mean, it's not that the heat goes into the propeller and then it all lights up. No, just the tips, the ones that are cut in the air. It was pretty crazy. It was actually on a King Kong 5045 tri-blade. So maybe we can get some kind of visual data into how the propellers are working also. Maybe, I don't know. I'll try to play with that and see what we can find. I mean, it just the possibilities are basically endless. And I think that's it, guys. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll leave a link to everything down below if you can check them out. Those greatly support the channel. And please consider joining my Patreon. It'll really help the channel. And I will see you next time. See you guys. Take care.